Digital line profiles is another analytical tool that's used to show differences about the sample. We're going to collect a new area here, so again I'm going to adjust my size. 640, as I said, is a good starting point. I'm going to, since this is going to have a high backscatter component, I'm going to increase my dwell to get some more pixel averaging going on. We'll hit capture. That's the region of interest. That looks pretty nice. So now this bar here, as I click on it, I can move that around. Click on the end of it, I can pick it up, make it smaller, change its direction or orientation. So what this allows me to do is show exactly the region I wish to do the analysis across. So I'm going to do an area like so. So we're going to go from this phase into that intermediate phase to that lighter, darker phase over there. So let me pick up that N. There we go. So that's the region. So that's the zoomed up area down here, showing me exactly the region. So if you wish to tweak or optimize it for a particular area, you can do it that way as well. Or just look at it zoomed up over here. Now, down here I can specify the number of sampling points. Remember, we'll be collecting a spectrum at each one of these points. Or I can specify the X-ray spatial distance I want. I know for this sample my X-ray spatial range is about 1.2 microns. So by selecting that, the system tells me I'll need 158 pixels to sample point to point to point. Well, I'm going to round that off a little bit, so I'm going to go up to 160. Under Acquire, I can select to do this based on precision. So again, 100, 300 million counts total within the system. Manually, which means keep collecting until I tell it to stop, or I can do it for a specified time. Since I don't know what the data is going to look like, I like doing it manually just to see what the precision looks like, and when I'm satisfied I can always stop the analysis. Image number with automatic numbering if you want, and then again, just like all of our other techniques, you can define to have the data saved automatically to projects, add it to the report, or save to file. So with that, I'm going to hit Acquire. Now I haven't specified the element list, so the system will automatically do an auto ID and come up with the major elements. I can at any time bring up the periodic table and change that list or add to that list any way I wish. Alright, so if I'm not interested in carbon and oxygen, I just want magnetic silicon, I can do that as well. So with that set up right now, we've got those elements showing up here. We've got the individual profiles here, so I can turn them on or off any way I want. More importantly, I can examine the data and we're still collecting. So for instance, if I look at this region here, pressing the right mouse button, I can highlight it, and it'll highlight it not only on the profile but on the image. Now I press spectrum, and I have two spectrum here. I have the overall spectrum, which is from the summation of the entire line, but I also have this second one, range, and that's the one that's showing me exactly just that area we've highlighted. So if I come here and hit profile, so now that I've hit profile, I can see our profiles over on this side. This allows me again to be interactive. So if I want to examine this region of the data, I can highlight it here, and now that's showing me the spectrum from that area. So as I go about the sample, I can extract and look at any individual regions of interest to see how the data is changing. Now the nice thing with the profiles is that it's easier to see transitions from one phase to another because it's much more absolute. The quality of this transition is based on a couple things. One is your X-ray spatial volume, and then how well you've isolated the phase within the sample itself, obviously. So it's a great way of showing subtle differences, particularly when you are going from one transition to another. Very popular applications are looking at things like poisoning or dosing of material to see how it penetrates into the sample. When you're finished, by either time running out or you're being satisfied with the overall data, again, you can put this into a report, you can save it to disk automatically, or you can save it to projects. With that, we're going to take all this information right now, and again, just like in the other techniques, this in and out control controls this object. This in and out control will control just this object, but this one will control the overall. So I have a line scan template set up for my report. I'm going to say add to report. I do have the options of saving the spectrum with the report. The advantage of doing that is if I want to edit or change the element list, I can do it up in the report as well. At this point in time, we're not going to do that. So with that, now I should have another page in my report that shows the image and the line profile and the zoomed up area of it. And again, all of this can still be edited. So profiles are a nice way of showing transitions, and particularly when they're very, very small from one region to another.